This is Doc Rock. Join me at the top.
Well, good evening. Welcome to Lead and Achieve with Doc Rock. And I'm Doc Rock, and I have a special guest I'm going to introduce in just a minute. And I'm telling you, we're going to lead, we're going to achieve, we're going to do great things in life, and you are awesome. Now remember, greatness is in you. Remember that. It's going to take some work to get it out of you. And tonight we have a special guest. We're going to be talking about health of our mental state. Mental health and all those type of things. And tonight we got Marcy J. Watkins, Marcy Jefferson Watkins. I'm reading her bio, and she's going to greet you in a second. And she's the CEO and owner of Solutions for Success, LLC. She's also the Senior Vice President of Operations of Ability Plus, Incorporated. Marcy has a bachelor's in behavior science. She has double majors in counseling psychology and journal psychology. Also, she's a current PhD student in developmental psychology. She is a professional licensed counselor. It means you can come see her. Yeah, she'll help you out. And also, she's national board certified. So, Marcy, welcome to Lead and Achieve. Why don't you greet the people?
Well, thank you. Well, good evening. I hope you're having a super day, and I'm just excited to be here with Dr. Watkins. I know that he is going to seriously empower and inspire us today. It's exciting to be here with you at Lead and Achieve.
Well, exciting for you to be on. Been talking about you coming on for a while.
Right.
And hit your other half on about a month ago.
Yes, hard act to follow.
hey, we had a good time.
Yes.
But, Marcy, and we've talked about this, and you're professional in what you do. Some things what I do a lot of course, teaching on mindset and having a healthy mind. If we're going to talk about having a healthy mind, but people's minds, are going through some I would say some disease almost, right?
Yes.
I mean, things are going on. COVID can happen, and counseling has ramped up. People, need assistance, coaching, help in various ways. And you heard me say this many times. You are today what you thought yesterday.
Right.
Gonna be tomorrow what you're thinking right now today.
Right.
Your mind has to be healthy. So, what's going on in the world?
Wow, I tell you, we were in a global pandemic, Dr. Watkins, and here we are, 3 years post-pandemic. People were isolated, and that social isolation, going through changes in the economy, children seriously affected. So currently we're at 1 in 5 people with mental health issues, mental health conditions. And so, in the counseling world is just all about helping people to be aware, making sure that people have good work-life balance and getting their families right back in the swing of things and getting back into that socialization. But yes, depression is at an all-time high. People are battling the aftermath of COVID and the medical conditions of that, as well as the grieving process for those that lost loved ones. A lot of people's lives were significantly impacted.
Wow. And in my role as a teacher of motivational speaker, empowerment teacher, facilitate a bunch of seminars and all.
Right.
And a lot of them have to do with mindset. I wrote a book called Gottitude, right?
Right.
It's
exactly.
all about attitude.
Yes.
And when those who are watching, and the reason I'm talking about healthy mind, because I don't care, what kind of degree you have, how much money you have,
Right.
where you from. You could be from a very affluent family. You could have a bunch of money in your pocket, but if your mind is not healthy, you're in trouble. Your altitude is based on your attitude.
Exactly. And so, you're saying that a healthy mind. And so many people shun away when you start talking about mental health. There's a difference between having a mental health issue and being mentally ill. So I try to attribute that to you going to your regular doctor, checking in with your regular doctor versus going to the ER, going to the hospital. You may have a serious illness versus having a bad day and feeling the onsets of anxiety or depression.
Yeah, and so when I think about my mind, I was listening this morning to a podcast, and it was talking about how the brain is the most powerful tool in the world, and that you have to take control of your brain.
Yes, you do.
You have to take control of your thoughts, and because I was reading, most human beings have 65,000 thoughts a day.
Yes.
And 80 to 90% of them are negative.
Yes.
So just think about that. Like, if you don't take control of your thoughts,
Right.
your mind.
Yes.
I mean, you may be thinking about like, okay, let me just go outside and just run in front of a car, or let me just
Right.
go outside and do something crazy. I mean, your mind can play tricks on you. I don't care how smart you are, or whatever. Your mind. I mean, my mind before I just be full, just vulnerable tonight. I mean, I've had some crazy thoughts before in my life.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't be thinking like that. I mean, right? People do that, right?
That happens. And so the reality of it is, just as you said, the brain is the organ no one likes to talk about. And it is the most powerful organ. Of course, I'm in love with the brain. I'm just going to be honest with you. All the psychology, research and things of that nature that I've done. But the one thing we never talk about is to be officially dead, to be classified dead, there's no brain activity. So that's how powerful the brain is. You never hear about a brain transfusion.
No.
Or a brain, someone getting
The transplant.
Yeah, transplant. Brain
right.
transplant. Thank you. So, it's so interesting in that, every single day we have to do mental exercises. We have to make sure that our brains are strong and that our thinking is powerful. You wrote no bad days. I mean, even in your own words, no bad, you have a bad minute, have a bad hour, but do not have a complete bad day. And so a lot of times people will carry those bad moments on day to day, week to week, year to year. And so that's how things exacerbate when it comes to mental health.
Wow, yeah. And people ask me, and I get our producer give me No Bad Days, our book, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But we talk about it. But people like, how can you write a book with no bad days? Man, come on, you gotta have bad days. Gotta be some bad going on. But the truth of the matter is, we all have issues that happen in a day.
Yes.
But we can't let our mind succumb to the negative side, and we dwell in that negative place, and then we become depressed.
Yes.
Whether we depressed from just a lay person thinking, or you clinically depressed for thinking for some reason, and like I tell people, I say, you things come, but how in your deliberation process, in your thinking, when something comes to you, how do you think your way through that?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
And that is something that needs forethought. Everyone needs to know, how do you cope with life? I always say, find your happy place, and moving in, that needs to be your new address. So when you find the things that make you happy, it is important that we live life and live it full. And I'm telling you, there's no sense in having a bad day, and there's no sense in us living life without it being blissful in every area, because it's a choice. And, people say, well, I don't choose the things that happen to me, but the way you respond to the things that happen to you is a choice. And so that's from childhood on throughout adulthood. It's imperative that we take control of our happiness.
Now, you said something that I like. You said, find your happy place, camp out, basically set your house up on that location.
Yes, and never move.
And never move. Because I feel that some people think they can't find this happy location.
Right.
This place they can call home, where they happy. Yeah, things come their way, but it challenges arises, but it does not take them from that spot of being happy. But living a life of bliss. You can tell people, hey, you should be living a life of bliss. They be like, what is that? Who can live a blissful life?
Exactly. And that's not predicated on your career or education. I mean, that is a personal thing. It's not even your marriage and your children, your family. It is the things that make you happy. For example, the sun shining on my skin. Oh my gosh, that just puts me in a good mood. Being out in nature, getting fresh air, it's the simple things. It's the simple things. And so whether it's travel, whether you like reading a good book, sitting by a fireplace, it can be those basic things that can put you in a good mental space.
So would you say in your research, in your profession, you're working in your doctorate now, I can't, that's going to be pretty awesome. But in your, from a mental health standpoint, and from a, let me say, a coaching standpoint as well, people, what comes in your eye gate and from through your eyes and your ears, does it matter? Can I watch this anything or listen to anything? Do I really have to work on what I hear and what I and what I see, or you know, is anything to that?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I mean, you said it yourself. 80% of those thoughts being negative and 95% reoccurring. So because we have natural, automatic, reoccurring negative thoughts, and it is imperative that we monitor what we allow our brain to process.
Yeah, right.
Because our brain is a sponge, it's like a computer. It's
Yeah.
like the data that's being inputted. So it's imperative that we focus on things that are positive. And positivity is intentional. I mean, I try to wear a smile on my face everywhere I go.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
telling you.
yeah.
So, you know, what you watch, social media, movies, you know, even the news.
Yeah.
You need to cap it off. I mean, it's
Y'all
imperative.
listening now.
It is imperative. Listen, I'm not going to try to get political, but I will just say this. It is imperative that we know how our physiological being responds to the things that are brought to us, even conversations that you have with people. You would be surprised how you could be having a super fantastic day, and then someone can start speaking to you in a negative tone, and it can just completely diminish your whole super attitude. So,
Wow.
yeah. So it's imperative that what we hear, what we say, and what we see, and then we actually hear what we say ourselves.
Yeah, yes.
So the things that we say, I'm a firm believer in positive affirmations.
Yes.
You know, and so those things that we tell ourselves are the things that our brain will respond to.
You know, and Schwartz wrote a book, you know, the positive of positive thinking, right? Norman Vincent Peale wrote about positive thinking. You know, and some people are like, oh, that's a bunch of junk.
Right.
You know, they're selling books.
Right.
I'm not going to one of those old seminars. I'm all right, but you're not all right.
No, you're not.
You know, people see me and they like, and I think they think maybe this dude cannot be like this joyful every day, but I am.
Yes, you
And-
are.
Yeah, I really am. And the thing about it is, and here's what the next thing people probably say, and I'm assuming this, and you know, and I think I've talked to a few people and to talk about it, is that the second thing they'll say is that well he ain't got no problems, he got everything he needs, bro. And they have no clue. I run 3 different organizations.
Wow.
And a bunch of stuff going on. If I did not have a healthy mindset,
Yes.
you know, I'd be in trouble.
Yes.
I mean, because there's a lot of pressure that's on these shoulders that a lot of people don't see
Exactly.
whatsoever. But the reason I can handle it is because of my thought process.
Yes.
You
yes.
know, I have a daily, and you probably have some daily things you do.
I do.
You know, tell me about yours. Yeah,
Okay,
right
so
quick. Yeah.
every day, so I like quietness. You know, I'm a believer, you know, so I have a strong faith. And so I spend time in prayer. I read the prayer of Jabez every morning. And so that's one of the things I start my morning off. Another thing is that while I am like taking a bath in the morning time, may sound a little strange to some, but I am a subscriber of a master's class. So I will listen to, even I've listened to some of your stuff too, Doc, you know. So I'll listen to something empowering, and that's how I'll get my day started. So I like to fire my mind up thinking that I can achieve and overcome anything. And then I like to just sit with myself and just really see, you know, what is it that I'm feeling? What is it that I'm thinking? So yeah, that's kind of how I get my day started. Oh, and then I like to detox too. So drink my detox tea
Okay,
while I'm doing that.
because the body, you know, it's important, right?
Right, right.
Physiology
Yes,
it's
it's
important.
all connected.
You know, and I tell people, you know, we all have different routines, and there's no one routine that says this is the best, this is the only way you can do it.
Right.
But you need to develop a routine. When I get up in the morning, I'm always going to listen to something positive. Generally, I put on a positive song.
Okay.
You know, most times it's upbeat, and it's talking about what's going to happen that day that's positive.
Right.
And then, of course, I read, of course, I do my devotion, and I listen to something positive, a positive podcast from various people every single day of my life.
Likewise.
Every day. And so those who, listen, here's a motivational person, empowerment person, telling you what I do. And guess what? Les Brown, who's a friend of mine, guess that's what he does, okay? Roberts, all the rest, they all listen to very positive things.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Good things in, good things out. Because our brain okay, is that sponge, right? And I tell people, your brain you have to transfer yourself. Your brain cannot be a record of your past,
Right.
okay, but it got to be a bridge to your future.
Yes, that's powerful. Let me
know,
just tell you,
yeah.
in my work as a therapist, one of the things that I have to focus on the most is people walking into forgiveness. Like that is like the biggest thing because and I'm often asked this question, well, I can forgive, but how do I forget? How do I let go? And it's all about your choice and your thought processes and you allowing your life each and every single day to be a new opportunity for new, and you have to seize the moments of new opportunities, and that is even letting things go. Holding on to old thoughts imprisons you.
Whoa, say that again.
Holding on to old thoughts will keep you in a mental prison and you will be in bondage. And for some people, they're in bondage a lifetime. You know, I sometimes talk to people about things that happened to them when they were children, you know, and it could be anything from abuse to rejection to something somebody said to them. I cannot count the number of people who had a teacher to tell them something when they were in elementary school, you know, and then they're 40, 50 years old, still holding on to those thoughts.
Wow.
And those thoughts matriculate into ideas, and then before you know it, it manifests into their lives, and it controls their decisions and their behavior. So, you know, those are some of the things, and I am big on us controlling our emotions. That's another piece.
Right,
so,
right.
you know, finding out how to respond to things and situations, because you cannot control situations.
No.
Life is going to happen.
Life's
so
gonna
life
happen.
lives.
Yep.
You know, and we're lifing.
Yep.
You know, so but the way we respond to life, that is the key thing.
Wow. You said a couple things. We said a whole lot right there. You said a whole lot that was really, really good. One thing is that you said it's forgiveness, and that unforgiveness that can have you in a prison, a mental prison.
Yes.
For the rest of your life almost.
Yes.
And so I want to encourage those who are watching, do what it takes for you to forgive and let it go.
Yes.
And somebody say, I gotta forget. Yeah, some things I think you gotta forget.
You need to forget.
You need to forget them. I mean,
Yes.
I don't never forget. Well, I'm the type person, and one of the reasons why I can move forward like I do, and of course I teach this stuff, this all the time as well as you, is that I've trained my brain to move forward.
That's
because
key.
there's nothing I can do to change my past.
Yes, that's so
nothing.
true.
It happened to me. It was unfortunate. I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. Okay. But it happened.
Right.
I acknowledge that. But the second thing I do is acknowledge is that, okay, I got to move forward. So I say it's over. Let's go forward. And I train my brain, refiring of your brain.
Yes.
And I meditate on where I'm going,
Yes.
not on where I've been. And so many people are focused on
That's
where they've
powerful.
been.
That's
You got to
powerful.
meditate and see yourself. And I tell you, those who are watching, on the canvas of your imagination, you got to see yourself, okay, going forward. You have overcame that painful situation. Dude, you're gonna be every time you see that person or that situation come up, or something on television or wherever remind you of it, okay, you're gonna go right back.
Wow. Now, see,
To
those
that
are the
place.
triggers.
That's a trigger.
That's how you just identified triggers. And the thing with that is we have a human instinct for safety. It's like our automatic safety mechanism. So that's where the not forgetting comes, because you really are guarding your heart towards not feeling that pain again. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Many people think that it does because, listen, no two situations in life is going to be the exact same. I don't care what it is. So when we're in that fight, flight, or freeze mode, and a lot of people do just that. They're fight, they're flight, they'll take off running, mentally or physically, or they'll freeze and do nothing. And so that is the body's natural way to protect us when we are at threat. So anytime something happens to you and you hold on to it, you are constantly in that fight, flight, or freeze mode. So it's imperative that we let things go so that we are not walking in survival mode, but we're in thriving mode.
We're in thriving mode.
Yes.
Wow. And I hope you all got that, And one of my favorite books, I read a whole lot of books, I got a lot of them. One of my favorite books was a chapter called Joshua. And God told Joshua, hey, meditate on the word, okay? And then you're going to make your way prosperous, you're going to have good success.
Yes.
And I tell people the power of meditation, okay, is that you meditate on what's positive. You think about what's positive, where you're going, what you want to do. and so you retrain your brain that okay, I'm going forward, and I'm not holding grudges,
Right.
you know, because I was told this one time, and I don't know if I looked it up or not, but I was told that majority of the people that are in mental hospitals are there for unforgiveness.
You know, I don't know the statistics on that, but I can definitely see that being accurate data, because you would be surprised at how holding on affects the brain. That's where, you know, I'll be honest with you, most mental illnesses, you know, are exacerbated from things that people hold on to.
Wow.
You think about if you let it go, and it's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to attribute the mental health to the physical. So you go to the gym. You don't go to the gym because you're sick.
Right.
Not always. You go to keep, you know,
Yeah.
healthy, you know, healthy heart, to tone up muscle wise. The mental health is the same way. So the more you let things go, the more you don't hold on to things, the more you are getting your brain strong and healthy.
Yeah.
Giving yourself space to learn new things, explore new opportunities.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how you get to that happy location.
That's where you get that happy location.
that
I'm
happy
telling
street.
you, and it's a fun place to be.
Wow. You know, and a lot of us have a for lack of a better word, a fake happy place. We happy when we maybe drinking, when we maybe doing something, a drug or something.
Right.
Maybe we happy when we eating the wrong things, overeating. You know, I had to step back from chocolate because chocolate, you know, was a drug for me. I'm being honest. It made me feel good.
I'm with you.
You know, it had a little dopamine coming up in there. You know,
strong dopamine.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but I had to realize I can't be happy based on things. I gotta be happy based on thought.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
Not on things, but on thought.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But, you know, because as you think, so are you.
That's
You know, great man said. So we have to be very careful that we're not using substitute things in order to feel good or think we're in a happy location. We're really not.
That's so true.
You know,
that is so true.
we're really at a place, a deficit when it comes to mental health. And you said something pretty powerful, is that it's not about you being sick necessarily. It's about you maintaining. It's about you growing,
Yes.
building your mental health.
That is so true. You know, one of my specialty areas is marriage, married couples.
that's
You know,
right.
I love my married couples, and it's a niche that actually found me. I've been married only 29 years, and you know, so very happily married. But one thing I will say is one of the key elements that I'm always expressing to married couples is that your spouse cannot make you happy. They can maintain your happiness.
Let's talk about this.
They can add to your happiness, but your spouse, and so a lot of times, you know, marriages suffer because it's like, I expect you to make me happy. Only you can determine your own happiness and what that means to you.
Now, Marcy, you said something powerful, because I've learned this in life. I've read about this, and you are absolutely right. And most people do. They are expecting their spouse to give them something that only they themselves can give them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so I'm looking for my wife to bring me happiness. I'm putting her in an unfair position.
Yes, you are.
You know, and that's what happened. People, well, I'm so happy. I'm gonna die if they're not around. Whoa,
time out. That's
Two-
overkill.
No. Your happiness is based on you, and if you work, we work on ourselves,
Yes.
and work our own happiness, we'll find even more joy with our spouses.
Yes, and that joy. So it's contagious.
And I had to learn that myself. I had to learn it.
Oh, and so did I. I mean, boy, I put my husband at a very unfair advantage. I want him to try to figure out something that I didn't even know for myself. And so, you know, when I found out, though, boy, I'm telling you, that joy and that happiness can be so contagious. We can bounce it off of each other. You know, I bet when you see Audra, I mean, I can just only imagine when she's happy. Don't that make you feel better?
Yes, absolutely.
Same thing with me and Brandon. You know, I'm telling you. And so I say that, and that is also, they'll spread to your children as well.
Wow.
It'll spread to your staff. You know, if you're a leader and a part of a company, everywhere you go, even in the marketplace, if you at Walmart, people always ask me, "Why are you so happy?" You know, and so that's an opportunity for me to share with them some of the great things that are happening in my life.
Wow. You know, and I'm telling you, married couples or whomever, please get that. Do not put unnecessary pressure on your spouse. Find what makes you joyful. Find what makes you happy. Find that role within yourself, and then share it.
Yes, and then share it.
And then share it. And I think when it comes to mental health, having a healthy mind, we have to get past our insecurities.
Oh, wow.
We have to get to the place, and I want to help some people, because there was a time in my life I wasn't comfortable in the skin I'm in. And a lot of people are not comfortable in their own skin,
right.
whether in their own skin as of a person of the ethnicity, whether in their own skin as what they did for it as in life, or whatever it may be. You gotta be comfortable with you. Okay, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You're awesome, right? And you gotta get to a place that you're happy with you, and that when you look in the mirror, you can smile. You don't look in the mirror trying to compare yourself to other people.
That's
now, Moss, I don't compare myself to other people. Doc Rock don't do that. I learn from other people.
Yes.
I can learn from you. I do learn from you.
And likewise.
But I don't compare myself to other people.
Well, as you were saying that about insecurity, the first thing that came to mind was the comparison game. As much as I love social media, and let me just say, social media is great. It allows us to learn and grow in so many ways. But the one thing I found is that people will compare themselves to other, to a moment, a photograph, or, what a classmate may be doing, or a colleague may be doing. And it's imperative that we find our own purpose and our own why.
Right.
And so when we know what it is that we are on the earth to do, we don't have to worry about what other people are doing. So that's why I love mental health. Because that is what I'm called to do. Now, I don't expect you to be as passionate about it as I am, but I believe you're a little close, though. Because you've been teaching on psychology for as long as I've known you.
A long time. That's one of the missions that I believe God gave me, is to talk about the mind, and I love the mind. I'm intrigued by the mind, because I know, you're looking at a project boy, and y'all know everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people know my story. And like, how did you get out of that situation? How was you so different, and I broke a lot of curses and a lot of deficits that was on my family, and I did it not because I was smart. Yeah, that had some. Yeah, that helped. Because most people say, well, Crocs is always smart, but no. Smartness don't get it, because if it did, you wouldn't have people with PhDs, that's depressed, sleeping on the bridges.
And that's true.
Okay, so it's not just smarts, but it's mindset. I had an attitude, that I wanted to do some things. I had an attitude that I want to be in a certain place, right? And so I took that attitude, that mindset was my motivation.
Yes. And you know what? You're not the only person that has a story, because I'm a country girl with a city swag.
That's right. I love it.
That's what I like to
country
say.
girl with a city swag.
With a city swag. But, I can remember, being the only person in my community to go to a 4-year college. And out of high school, most people went to the junior college first, and so the interesting piece about all of that, and breaking some dynamics from what you see, is that a strong mind, a healthy mind, can allow you to overcome any adversity.
Wow.
And having mentors and people in your life speaking to those things makes it possible.
Wow, that's awesome. Listen, y'all, we about to wrap it up. No bad days. Hear it right here. No bad days. You need to get it. Not because I wrote it, but people, even the FBI is reading this.
Oh, wow.
I found out the FBI's sect of reading this book.
It's a great book.
It's a great book. Because it ain't, and I tell people, we're having we had a seminar on this. The next one I do, you may want to come, because we teach you practically how to do this. But so and of course I do a lot of stuff on emotional intelligence. I'm certified in emotional intelligence.
Oh, yes.
Self-awareness and self-management, and find out what trigger you and all that. And when these things are offered, and if Mars says Solutions to Success, they offering different packages, offering professional counseling, all these type things. You need to be a part of it. One thing people don't do, they have gym memberships, some, but they have no membership of the mind.
That is so true. I hope to break that.
Yes, me too.
Yes.
You're building your muscle over here, but you're building your muscle here.
Yes.
And this controls everything. So I want to encourage you, if you need professional counseling, it's not a bad word, it's something good. You need coaching, you need mentorship, all those same things. They are all good.
Yes.
They are all good. good. And be honest with you, and most people I know who's successful subscribe to most of them.
Yes, that is so true.
You know, and pay good money for it.
Yes.
You know,
therapy is for people who are in a good, healthy space.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that you're in a bad. That's
Yeah.
what psychiatrist is for. It's a little bit different.
Oh, y'all hear that? Say it again, Marcy.
Yes, so if you are having severe mental illness, then you need to see a psychiatrist. Therapy is actually for when you have a clear mind so that you can go on life's journeys for yourself to be even greater. So it's maximizing your potential and your capacity.
Absolutely. So go see a therapist, go see a coach, whatever you need to do, life coach, executive coach, whatever. You know, we subscribe to all of it.
Yes.
You know, and it's needed. So, Marcy, and we got a few more minutes, not minutes, but a few seconds left.
All right.
You don't mind looking at the camera and just Karen, telling them what's on your mind before we leave.
Yes, listen, I just want to tell you that you are the best you there is. There is no one who can beat you being you. So, hey, keep being great, keep being positive. Make sure that you know that your mental health is the key to a successful life. And we're here to just encourage you to keep being the best version of yourself and live life to the fullest.
All right. So, hey, this is Marcy Jefferson Watkins. She's awesome. Live life to the fullest. We talking about a healthy mind. Get your mind right. Get your mind right. Get your mind right. It's going to be awesome. So, thank you for tuning in to Lead and Achieve, okay, with Doc Rock and Marcy Jefferson Watkins on tonight. Hey, I have no bad days. We have no bad days. No bad days, right?
No bad days.
No, we may have a few bad seconds, few bad minutes, few bad hours, but never a bad day. So here it is. It is Super Sunday. It is Marvelous Monday. It is Terrific Tuesday. It is Wonderful Wednesday. It's Triumphant Thursday. It's Fantastic Friday. And it's Successful Saturday. Okay, this is Marcy Jefferson. This is Doc Rock. You join us at the top. We'll see you later. All right.
Bye.